Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a rarity, a 2014 launch from Zenith. You're looking at the El Primero Synopsis. In some ways, it follows in the footsteps of 2012's El Primero Espada, which was a time-only version of the traditionally chronograph-equipped El Primero high-beat automatic movement. Here we have the open Chronomaster style with the visible balance and escapement and fourth wheel. This is not technically a Chronomaster, but you can see it's got the Chronomaster case profile and the Chronomaster open dial design. 40 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel. It's 12.1 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip. It's 48 millimeters with the 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. It is a robust watch and feels substantial. It has an older design of clasp and bracelet, which feel more price point appropriate than some of what Zenith equipped later on subsequent models. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, this wears really well. I'd actually say, let's zoom out a little bit, this is perfect for my wrist size or larger, maybe even 15 centimeters. This is 16 for scale. It will easily slide under a cuff, no issues there. Taking a look at the bracelet, I can substantiate some of what I just told you. Taking a look at how these links are sunken or countersunk into each other, you can understand why there's so little lateral play. Also, why the bracelet looks so all of a piece, and you could appreciate that every single link is removable, so you're likely to get the right size. Now take a quick look here. You can see there's an intermediate size link here and an intermediate sized link here. So if you do find yourself in between sizes, you have those two options. Later, Zenith would go to a more basic stamped shell with a clamshell lock. This double fold with twin trigger feels more premium than those subsequent clasps. So this is a good piece, and it's well suited to the price and positioning of this watch. We have the Chronomaster style case, although this is not overtly Chronomaster branded. You can see the blended lug with a squared off end. We have a little bit of a soft bevel on the edge of the lug and then a bit of satin finish on the top. The bezel features a vertical step and then a conical plane terminating in a dramatically boxed and cambered sapphire. You can see Zenith using an old watch design trick of allowing the lugs to ride up the side of the bezel a little bit so they don't appear cut off or cropped, or you don't put the bezel on top of the lugs and create a very thick watch. Now, there is a screw-down crown here. This watch is 100 meters water resistant. I'll also show you that there is more than abundant lume on this dial. There's a bit of a dead quarter, but you'll be able to estimate the time all the same. A lot of folks would say that it's a price worth paying for the open escapement because you get, in many regards, I would say 90% of the value of a tourbillon for maybe 10% of the price. Now we have rose gold plated applique indices and hands to match with a rose gold plated bezel surrounding the open escapement with 3 blued screws. And you can even see there's a little bit of a calibration there. We have a tri-spoke on an extended fourth wheel pinion that acts as the second sand for the watch. Now what surprises me most is that this is the caliber 4613, and it has something that is not traditionally a feature of the El Primero. There's a hacking lever in this movement, so you can hack it, and depending on how you want to synchronize those tri-spoke hands, you can actually set this to the second. But traditionally, the El Primero, before the 2019 caliber 3600, very rarely included hacking seconds. So that's an interesting refinement. It's still 10 beats per second, 36,000 vibrations per hour, automatic winding with a 50-hour power reserve, 19 joules. You can see the use of a silicon escapement to reduce mass, reduce susceptibility to magnetism, and also reduce the need for lubrication in the drivetrain on a component set that often tends to determine when the watch needs to go in for service. Aging of pallet stones and their lubrication typically dictates, along with the barrel, when you've actually got to send something back for service. The pallet stone lubrication is a big limiting factor, and so here with silicon escapement, you don't have that problem. There is no lubrication. And if you look carefully, you can actually see that the Zenith Star logo is also the spokes of that silicon escape wheel. I'll give you one more quick lume shot so you can register where everything is here. And then turn over the backside where there's less to see because it's no longer a chronograph. Understandably, there's no column wheel, there's no lateral clutch, but it's still recognizably an El Primero, which means it's probably around 30 millimeters in diameter. There's KIF shock protection. We've got the buzzing 36,000 vibration per hour rate. We've got the characteristic El Primero bidirectional winding system, and then the eccentric screw micrometric regulator. And once again, all of this 100 meters water resistant. There's simply a lot to love right here. I would say this is the cure for the common Datejust. Now, of course, you don't get a date, but then again, you make up an awful lot with that open escapement. So reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details of this fluted dial wonder from Zenith.